Well, we are live, and I just love it. Good afternoon, Live Without Limits Tribe community. It's so good to connect once again with you. I hope that you're having a great weekend. I can tell you, I am coming directly from Beaufort, Georgia, and here it's. I just checked the outside temperature and it's close to 80 degrees. I think it's 78 degrees
And it
right now.
feels like it.
And it does. And I just love it. I mean, this is a kind of a rebirth. I mean, we are leaving the cold weather behind and we are embracing the warm weather. But before I continue, I want to say hello. And I know that all of you, I mean, you know her, my dear friend and colleague, Makisha Whetstone. How are you doing, Makisha, on this lovely and beautiful and awesome day?
It is a beautiful day. It is warm, but all of this pollen is wearing Makisha out. Oh my goodness. My eyes are itchy. My ears are itchy. I'm blowing my nose. And it is really, really bothering me. But this is the time of year it happens. It happens to me twice a year. It's February, March, and then it happens to me again in the fall, normally somewhere between November and December. It happens again. So I have an idea that it's coming, but for some reason, Alejandro, every year I keep hoping this will be the year that it stops and I won't have it anymore. But as I get older, I swear it seems like the opposite happens. It seems like it starts happening a little bit earlier and it's a little bit more severe when I do have it.
That's right.
But yeah, other than that, I'm enjoying the beautiful weather. It's just the pollen that's getting next to me right now.
That's exactly right. And just for you who are watching us live right now, or if you are going to get the replay later, I just want to share something that it was funny. Before we came live, then we were talking a little bit with Makisha, and she asked me the greatest question that a person can ask another individual just prior to going live. And she said, Alejandro, what are we going to talk about today? And guess what I said? Those very famous words of Alejandro. I have no clue. I have no idea. What are we going to talk about? And she says, that is great. And I mean, it's true. I mean, that is the best possible place that we can be, because when you don't have anything planned, when everything is just in the spur of the moment, then you can be very authentic. You can be very open, very transparent, very vulnerable, because there is no agenda. Now, in some cases, we need don't misunderstand what we're saying. I mean, it's not that this applies in every. I mean, if you're going to give, if you're going to facilitate a seminar. I mean, please don't wing it. I mean, just be prepared, okay? Do the work and do the homework that you need to do, okay? But what we wanted to do is we do some teaching on Thursdays, but we decided, I mean, to come at least a couple of more times, I mean, just to connect in a more authentic, without any preparation kind of a way, because that's also, I mean, we want our audience and our community, I mean, we want to get to know you, but we want you to get to know us as not prepared teachers that come every week, I mean, ready. No. I mean, we are just human beings. I mean, we're living lives and we are going through these challenging times all together. And so, I mean, we just wanted to show up and connect with you. There was another thing that Makisha asked me, and I said, let's just go live and let's talk about this. It says, she said, did you cut your hair? I mean, your hair looks a little bit shorter. And the answer to that question is yes. I have a pair of electric clippers. I mean, the clippers, and the ones that you can change. You can put like an additional piece.
Yep.
For just for the length of the hair that you want to cut. So I did that, and I talked to the lady Cassie, who does my hair, and so she said, okay, well, you can use this number element piece and so forth. And so I just went in front of the mirror, and then not on the top or in the back, but on the side. I just trimmed it on the sides, and guess what? Whether I did a good job or I messed it up, I have to be honest with you. I don't really care. I did the best that I could possibly. I never went to hair school. I never went to trimming school or whatever it is.
You've never done this before, have you?
No, I never done it. I improvised. Now, whether I improvise
because of the virus?
I'm sorry?
Did you improvise because of the virus and Cassie isn't open? Why did you improvise this time?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Just to keep myself and my hair a little bit under control under challenging times. Now, if we were not going through this, I don't think that I would have improvised. I think that I would have let Cassie improvise on my hair.
Did you take a picture and send it to Cassie? You need to take a picture and send it to Cassie.
Hey, listen, Makisha. I mean, are you trying to get me into trouble? Because if you are, you're doing a very good job out of it.
As soon as I looked at you, I knew cut. He has never had his hair that short on the side, so I noticed it immediately. And I didn't know if you were trying a different look of what was going on. But as soon as you told me you changed out the head or whatever you call those, where you changed it out and Cassie told you what number you should have for what length, of hair you want to cut, I thought, oh my goodness, he cut it himself.
That's right. Yes, I certainly did. Now, there's one thing that I would, it doesn't matter. I mean, if this virus and if this social distancing lasts for another year or so, I hope it doesn't. Okay, but even if it does, one thing that I would never improvise doing myself is to do a perm and to get curly hair on myself. That's out of the question. I mean, I would never do that
conversation. No, do not do that. I think you did that once before and your family told you not to ever do that again. So we are not going to do a perm on you. That would not be good.
Now, can you imagine? I mean, for those who are watching, Makisha is right, because I shared that story, I mean, with her. That was years ago. I mean, when I was studying in the UK, in England, and it was time, I mean, for me to take a vacation, and so we planned the vacation. I was going to go back home to Buenos Aires, Argentina, just to be with my family for maybe, I mean, a few weeks. And so my hair was a little bit long. And so there was this young guy that used to do my hair. I mean, the excellent fellow. And I came to him and I said, hey, why don't we do something different? Just for the sake of it. I mean, just let's be creative. Let's do something different. And so he came up with the idea of doing not a very hard perm, but a soft perm. Now, back then, I had more volume hair with me, and so we went ahead and did that. I mean, so you can see my hair is straight. I mean, it's always been straight. But when I remember when I stepped out of the plane in the Buenos Aires International Airport, and I walked, and I could see just ahead of me all of my family, because in Latin America, when you leave the airport on a journey, and or when you come back, it's the whole family is gathered. I mean, to welcome you back, okay, and to give love, and to share stories and so forth. Well, as my family saw me, and I could see their eyes just went directly into my hair, and they saw my curly hair for the very first time. I thought that they were going to disown me and disinherited me and say, we don't know who this fellow is. I mean, we're waiting for our son. I mean, who are you? And so I tell you, it was during those weeks, joke after joke after joke about my hair, and they said, my goodness, England has definitely changed you. I mean, do you want to go back? I said, by all means, yes. When when is my flight? When is my return flight to London?
So we know you don't need a perm again then.
No, I don't need a perm yet. No. I think that just by looking at you, Makisha, I let the perm be on top of your head, because you have incredible curls in your, and I always said from the very first time that I saw you, I said, Makisha, when my hair grows, I want to have those wonderful curls on me. And you said, no, I don't think so. And and yes, and I've been following your guidance.
Yes, once I learned what your family said, we determined curls would not be good for you.
No. So listen, how are you? Tell me a little bit. How are you coping with this situation? I mean, are you tired of social distancing? Are you tired of staying at home? I mean, can you wait until things go back to normal, and then life is back to where it used to be?
See, it doesn't bother me a whole lot. And the reason why is because, one, I enjoy spending time by myself. Two, let me see, this is March, it's about to be April. So for the last 5.5 months, I've been working from home, being self-employed.
Okay.
So the last 5.5 months, I have been home all day, working upstairs in my office. The TV is off pretty much somewhere until, because I normally come upstairs by 6 or 6:30. The TV typically doesn't come on until somewhere between 2 and 4. Sometimes it's even 5 o'clock. So for me, it hasn't changed much. I would go out to meet clients one-on-one, for those who were nearby. But we have just switched to Zoom, and I used Zoom as a medium before.
Okay.
So we just do a lot more online meetings. So for me, it hasn't changed because I can make phone calls from home. I did that before. I can meet with a client in person if they were nearby or online. So everything is just online. And the only thing I do miss is actually, although I don't like working out, I still miss the opportunity of going to the gym because I'm just not disciplined enough to work out at home like I should. And one of my girlfriends and I, we wanted to catch up and spend some time together, but we wanted to go to the park and walk. Oh. And, we can't go to the parks right now here in Gwinnett County. And, but I do miss going to a physical church versus going to church online. So I do look forward to that, going back to business as usual. But other than that, I cannot truly say that I feel impacted by it much because I still go to the grocery store if I need to. I did that before. Yeah, and we didn't go out and eat dinner a whole lot in restaurants, so I don't miss that a whole lot. So it hasn't impacted me,
okay,
a great deal. I know, and like last night, because I am in my office literally about 12 to 14 hours out of the day. And see, my husband has had to work at home because he's still working, but he works from home. So he has his makeshift office in our formal dining room. So the TV comes on at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I wasn't accustomed to that. So I've had to adjust to hearing noise in the house. And since I'm in my office all the time and he's downstairs working, yesterday I finally said, okay, let's just take 30 minutes and go sit outside. I said, I know the pollen is going to bother me more than what it already is, but let's just do that so we can get out of the house, spend some time together, because he is one who needs to go somewhere. He needs to go to an office. He does not like working at home. It doesn't fit his personality. He hasn't been able to go play golf because he hurt his back. It's getting better. So for him, it's hard for him. Whereas for me, I'm fine. So just outside last night for 30 minutes, I think helped. And we were able to just, enjoy some time together outside. Yeah. But it hasn't impacted me a whole lot. I know for you, you used to go to the gym a few days a week as well. I know you love going to Chipotle, and I know they miss you just as much as you miss them.
You see, I mean, on these episodes, I mean, we cannot keep any secrets. I mean, the secrets are just out of, yes, I mean, they're in the open.
You love it. And see, but for you used to also speak and have engagements, business, for business purposes. Yeah. So for you, that's a little different, as well, because intention on going out into the public and actually having a seminar or workshop, that can change things a little bit. Now that part, and for business owners, I do want that to go back to normal because people need to have a way to make a living. I don't like seeing businesses close up. I like for businesses to thrive, and it has impacted our economy. For all of those reasons, yes, I want it to go back to normal. But me personally, I don't feel like it has truly impacted me just because of my personality type. I know for you, you'd rather have it go back to normal a little.
Now, you mentioned something that I was not aware, and I live in Gwinnett County as well, and I did not know about that. So about parks, so parks are closed. I mean, you cannot even go.
Oh yeah, you cannot go to the parks, and some of them have certain parks even taped off to make sure you cannot go there and sit down. Some of them have even taken up the benches to make sure people don't go and sit down. Yes, the parents cannot go take the kids on the playgrounds. They've done that, I think, in Cobb County also. And then they showed on the news last week where some people were violating the ordinance and they were still walking, taking their daily walk at the park. But yes, the Gwinnett County parks are closed, and I think it's Cobb County the parks are closed.
Now, that I have a question. I know that we need to follow the guidelines that the government and the CDC and the NIH and all the gurus, have compiled and put together of maintaining social distancing. But if you go to the park and you are by yourself, It's not that you're having like a party in the park,
But
but
some
if you're
people
just
do. Some people,
oh, okay, okay,
yeah.
but also you see, and it always happens that because of some people that they want to do their own things and they want to perhaps mess it all up for
But
everybody
they're
else.
not, because you can rent one of the pavilions or the space to have parties and to cook out. It's designed that way.
But I know that, Makisha, but not through these times when
Right.
when everything is normal. Yes.
Yeah, so to make sure everyone follows the guidelines to make it clean,
Mm.
they just make sure no one is gathering. And plus, with the kids, they don't want them out on the playground, touching the monkey bars and stuff.
Okay. Or the swings or everything. I mean, yeah. All yes, all that.
Yeah, so to
Also,
make it easy for everyone, they just said, you know what, we're going to shut it down. No one can go.
I
Because
see.
like you, if you're out on the path, I personally don't see why being on the path is that bad, because typically there's a whole lot of social distance, because
Sure, yeah.
sometimes there's only a few of you out there jogging or walking anyway. But yeah, to make it easy for everyone and no one has to try to govern who is abiding by the law or not. It's just no one can be at the park, so you have shut them down.
I tell you one thing. Like you said, I mean that you went to the supermarket. I mean to do grocery shopping. I went a couple of days ago. I mean to my local Walmart here, and you see, I mean, this is not trying to complain. I mean, I do agree with following the guidelines and so forth, but can you imagine? I mean, that they close the parks, and the parks. I mean, you can definitely be by yourself. I mean, you don't have. I mean, there's a lot of space in the park, and yet you can go to a Walmart or to a grocery store.
I know what you're about to say.
And then you are together, and the distance between people. And although I've been noticing that when you go to the supermarket and you're just pulling the cart through the aisles, when people see you or when you see people, you try to increase the distance between you and everybody else. I mean, trying to keep, but in a supermarket, I mean, if you want to grab, I mean, the food off the shelves, you have to touch things. Now, the question is whether as soon as you get back home, I mean, you go to the bathroom, the first thing that you do is you go to the bathroom and you wash your hands very thoroughly.
Hand sanitizer,
Or you use hand sanitizer and so
and
forth.
then wash your hands, like you said, once you get home.
That's
And
exactly right.
Alejandro, I had not experienced the long lines until the other day, because my husband wanted to go to the gas station. And I said, I want to ride with you. I said, but I need for you to have a little bit of patience and drop me by the grocery store. I just want to get a couple of things because I want us to have fruit in the house. Had I seen the lines before I picked up those grocery items, we would have been fruitless. OMG. I heard of the long lines, but I had not experienced any long lines at all. I went to this.
You mean long lines to actually check out and pay for it?
Yeah. Like all of them were down the aisle long, very long. And my husband was like, what in the world is she doing in there? That's how long I was in there. And I was a little frustrated.
At what time did you go?
I know it was in the evening. I'm gonna say maybe like around maybe 6-ish, 5:45-ish.
Okay, because perhaps it's like the peak hours. I mean, I guess I haven't done it myself, but in some of this, and I don't even know. I mean, if right now they operate on a 24-hour cycle. But I'm sure that if
no one's on 24 hours anymore, they can't be.
Okay, so then yes, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, what the peak hours during the day. I mean, if morning is heavier than evenings or
any time now because nobody's at work. Everybody's working from home or they are not working right now at all. So I was surprised because I've gone to this grocery store since this has been in place, and I haven't had the long lines. Now, typically on the weekends, they are long. So I don't even, if I can't go first thing in the morning at this particular grocery store on the weekend, I don't even go because it is too packed in there, and the lines, you can't even get down the aisles. It is just too packed in there. But I was surprised by how long the lines were, and the store did not enforce the quantity for the express lines. So there were two individuals in front of me with a buggy full of food, and you're only supposed to have 15 items. So that prolonged it even more. And then when you're talking about the social distancing in the stores, most stores now where you can still go in, they have tape at certain spots. So you're supposed to know where to stand to keep the social distancing between you. And so everything is so tight in this particular store. After a certain point, the aisles are tight and everybody is trying to, stay out of the aisles because people still needed to go through to still do their shopping. But we were in the aisle. So I don't know how much social distancing you can do in an environment like that, but they do try to have it taped off so you will know each person is supposed to stand behind this blue line, but you can't put a blue line all the way down every aisle. So it was interesting.
Yes, it's I tell you, it's when all of this eventually will be behind us. We will have so many stories, to share and to relate, and even I tell you, 20 years from now, you talk to someone and says, "Do you remember? In 2020, when we had that," and it's just all the memories, because you see, under a situation such as the one we're going through right now, there are two options that people can take. You can look at everything from a very negative perspective. Yep. And said, "Oh my goodness, I had to be at home. I could not go to work. The lines were long. I could not get toilet paper in the stores. And blah blah blah. All the negatives and all the misery that you had to go through, and that's there are going to be people that would be focused on those things. But there the other half that are going to remember, and they're going to say, "Hey, all the memories that we created. We were at home with family. And I could have a great time with my dog, with my cat. We were just perhaps going on little walks, and I was growing, and I make most of the time to yes, I watch Netflix and I watch Amazon Prime, and perhaps I watch a few movies that I wanted to watch. But at the same time, this time of distancing gave me the opportunity to be creative and to add value to others and to do things that I would not normally do. And so those two, I was reading a post earlier on today, and I made a comment on it, and it was all about perspective. Mm-hmm. There are people who are going to have, that's right. There are people that are going to have the complete wrong perspective on what's going on right now, and those, okay, I don't think that they're not going to add anything to the world. but then there are those that are going to have the right perspective, and they're going to share lessons that they learned and things that they did, and memories they created, and I think that is the name of the game, Makisha. I think that we have to have the right positive mental attitude and the right perspective, and just keep riding this wave. I mean, whatever this wave takes us.
Yeah, and hopefully people are taking this time to not only reconnect with family and loved ones, but I hope some people are starting businesses on the side that they have wanted to start, or perhaps completing hobbies or tasks that they wanted to complete, and maybe the family can do it together.
Sure.
Or maybe they can reorganize their homes so it can give them mental clarity as well. Because when you are at a standstill from a geographical or physical standpoint, I should say, and it limits where you can go and what you can do outside of your home, a lot of times people will take that time to be idle and do nothing.
Sure.
Whereas you really want to take this time to make sure we're reading, we're educating ourselves, we are starting those businesses, doing the research we may need to do to start them, to make sure we're doing something constructive and positive, even if that's creating events for the kids to do during the day so they're not sitting around, making sure there are planned family activities. There are so many things that we can be doing during this time. If you're someone who isn't self-employed and you normally don't work from home, because for that person who is a solopreneur, or they may work from home, or don't necessarily have an office to go to, the challenge probably with most of them is that they're finding it hard not to go and see that client, and they have to adapt to doing everything online. But other than that, the person who's accustomed to going somewhere every day, they may be having a hard time. But I really hope people are really taking the time to grow, develop, and also understand this is why we should always have multiple streams of income, because this is a time when many people never thought their businesses would have to shut down and come to a halt because of a virus in our world, because of a pandemic. And this is a time when I think the world, but particularly America, really needs to reevaluate how we work, how we socialize, and how we are moving in this country, because it is so important to make sure we're not relying upon one source of income for us to live. And if someone has a business, it's important for that business owner, whether they're partners, a solo entrepreneur, even a corporation, because corporations are being impacted by this. It is important for us to rethink how we shop and live and how our economy is set up. We need to have some other things in place. What if this happens again? Like you said, we'll be talking about this again. We talk about 9/11. We talk about the Great Depression. We talk about the crash that occurred in 2007, 2008. We will be talking about this 20, 30, 50 years from now, because it is such a huge time in history. Italy has 10,000 people who have died as a result of the virus. It's huge, and we really need to take it seriously. And as much as we need to take it seriously from a health standpoint, I'm hoping people will take it seriously, that they need to make sure their homes, their lives are in a financial, healthy place. So if this happens again or something similar, we are financially healthy. We have additional streams of income that can help tie us over and be a bridge until things go back to normal. So I'm really hoping some great things come out of this time of solitude and social distancing.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that people are thinking. I mean, during this time, I have been more connected. I mean, with people. It's amazing how you said, okay, physical connection is important. but even when you don't have that physical connection, um, uh, the connection, the virtual connections, and I've been doing so many things online and connecting with people, and some people, they have reached out to me and says, why don't we do this or that? I mean, I think that people are finding the need to keep definitely living life, and to still communicate, and a lot of good things, I truly believe, that are going to be birthed out of this. And that's a great thing, because if there's one thing that perhaps, I mean, this coronavirus is inciting in people, is it's bringing out our creative potential. I mean, I know that this virus is pretty much, I mean, bringing the whole world, I mean, to a standstill. But at the same time, if we look at it from a positive perspective, what this virus is doing is, in a sense, enhancing that creativity, that creative potential that human beings that we have, and perhaps while we are busy doing our lives on a daily basis, that creativity has been very dormant inside of us, and now it's forced to bubble up and show up in the world. And what a great thing. I mean, that reminds us, I mean, this situation should remind us that difficult times, they can bring so much good into the world.
They can. Yep, they absolutely can.
But we have to have the right attitude toward it, and we have to be flexible to that change.
Yeah, you have to want to see the good in every situation.
Yeah.
Because it's a choice. You can always choose to see the negative in something, or you can choose to see the good in it. Yeah. And I always believe, no matter how tough things can be, there is something good to see in every situation. Yeah. You just have to look for it. You just have to have an open heart and an open mind and open ears and open eyes to see that there is something good, even in a very, very tough and sometimes sad situation. Yeah. Because hearing 10,000 people die in Italy, and even here having a baby succumb to it, I think yesterday, and to know that we have so many cases even here in America. Sure. But I still believe there is still good for all of us to learn from this, or good that can still come out of this.
Makisha, I mean, it reminds me that if you're looking for trash and garbage, you don't have to dig too deep. I mean, you can see trash pretty much on the surface,
right?
Everywhere. Okay.
Yes.
Now, if on the other hand, you want to find gold, or you want to find diamonds, then you don't see. I mean, you'll be very lucky, I mean, if you find them on the surface. If you want to find gold or diamonds, you have to begin digging, right, and digging deep.
Yes.
Because they are deep. Okay, they're buried deep. But if you keep on digging and digging and digging, then you will find gold. And that's what you said. I mean, sometimes we have to dig deep in order to see good things out of difficult times. But they are there.
They are there. Yes, they are. We just have to remember that. Just like we know something great is going to come out of our workshop that we're going to have June 13th, as long as we are through the coronavirus, because
Yeah,
we have pushed it back once. We are hoping we will be able to stick to our
that's
new
right.
date, Saturday, June 13th, for Live Without Limits. And we want everyone in our community and our tribe to
Sure.
go and register on Eventbrite, Live Without Limits. And I will be having a great time in this
Okay.
workshop
Yeah.
talking about relationships, fear, forgiveness. We're going to be talking about a host of things, and we would love for you to be there with us. So go to Eventbrite and register, because we are believing by the time June 13th gets here, our social distancing will be over and we will be able to have the workshop. And we want to have you there with us, because
Excellent.
we're anticipating a great time, and it's to have more tools in your toolbox to help you navigate through professional and personal relationships, and to help you navigate through your personal and professional goals. So go
Excellent.
to Eventbrite and sign up today.
Excellent. What a great point to really wrap this session up. And
I
uh,
had so much fun with you again today, Alejandro, and especially since we didn't even have an agenda, which I am so glad that we did it, because I like just talking about different things,
yeah,
impromptu, because it's not like there is a shortage of things to talk about, where it can still be great content and
sure.
people can get to know us as humans, as
Excellent.
human beings. So I am so grateful to you for being open to just showing and doing it however it came out, because it was a great time today and I enjoyed it.
Yes, and for I mean for you who are watching or will be watching later, I promise that next time we'll talk about anything, but we will not be talking about my hair.
Oh, Alejandro, I just thought about something. Hey, community and tribe. One of the things Alejandro and I had talked about previously, and I just thought about this when he said that. For some reason, it made me think about this. We would love to hear from you. If there are certain topics or questions you all have, and you would like for Alejandro and I to tackle them for you, please send them to us. You can post it to our Live Without Limits Facebook page. You can send us a DM. Um, you can go to our respective websites. And mine is, well, an email, Makisha at powerofonelifecoach.com. And Alejandro, what is your email address?
It's Alejandro J, the letter J, tornato.com. Just go there. You can connect with us on LinkedIn or
Yes.
our Facebook pages. There's a lot of different places that we can we can connect. But thank you very much, Makisha, for that reminder. Yes, we want to be a resource, for our community. So if you have a particular topic that perhaps we haven't covered, and you want to perhaps learn more, or you want to see what our take on that topic would be, what our perspective on that topic would be, then by all means, connect with us, let us know, and we'll do that. We would love to add value to you in whatever
Yes.
possible way we can, and that is an excellent way to do it. We are not trying to force our topics on you.
Right.
We think that there are some topics that are valuable, and you would love to hear and to learn more about them. But if you have something that is been bubbling inside of you and it says, hey, I would like Makisha and Alejandro to really expand on this, just go ahead and send us your comments, and we will definitely pay a great attention to it. Yes, definitely.
Yes. And I was going to our Facebook page to see if we have any comments in there to make sure we are not overlooking anything. And I don't see anything right now, Alejandro, because I wanted to address anything if
Sure.
someone had any comments in there. But yeah, we would love to hear from you. Whether it is our individual social media pages or our respective websites here
Yeah.
at Live Without Limits, we just want to hear from you so we can make sure we are seeing your questions and your concerns, or even if it's just something interesting that you want to know about us, we'll be more than happy to talk about that and have fun with it.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you, Makisha.
Hello,
And
everybody. Thank you for liking our Live Without Limits video. It just popped up.
yes, thank you so very much. And well, let me just close this session, reminding you that we are going to get over this situation. As I said, I don't know when. I cannot give you a definite date and time, but I can tell you, as we keep moving through this, keep making the most of the time. Keep growing.
Absolutely.
Keep thrive to become the very best version of yourself, because if we do that, then we are going to be so much better equipped on the other side of this crisis. So thank you very much, Makisha. Have a great
had another great time with you.
Yes, and have a great rest of the day. And all of you will connect with you during our next session. So have a great rest of this weekend. Bye-bye all.
Bye-bye, everyone.